Hi everyone, Tai here. Still on Laurel Canyon, still in crazy Hollywood. Hi John, how are you?
Tai, how's it going?
I'm good.
Excellent. You looking
Hello,
good.
thank you. Scout, say hi. Scout's here.
Scout in the house.
Scout's in the house and he has a guitar in his hand. I don't know what he's doing to this guitar. I see on Facebook it's a different guitar every 10 minutes. So he's creative, he's having fun, and I support you, my child of the corn. Okay, I posted on Facebook that I would talk about my experience on the Howard Stern show. And as I was driving here this afternoon, I thought, you know what? Because Howard is so incredibly dirty and you never know what's going to fly out of his mouth, I think I better be careful what I say today on this show, because I forgot that sometimes, you know, there are kids watching. And some of my skater parents have skater, you know, kids who, you know, pay attention to my page. So I'm going to be really careful with this story so I won't get dirty. No, no talking dirty. But the experience I had with Howard Stern, first of all, I love Howard Stern. He's brilliant. I figured out the key with Howard was, or is actually, there's two Howard Sterns. There's the one that we all hear and see, you know, the raunchy, just will say anything and there's no editing. There's that Howard. And then once they stop tape, it's a different Howard. And it threw me when I was on the show. Because it was two separate personalities, which I found that fascinating. But anyway, so back to the show and back to what it's like sitting on the set at the Howard Stern show with, of course, the lovely Robin, who's hysterical. So going in, you sort of know that he's going to talk dirty. He's going to ask you whatever he wants to regarding sex and so on and so forth. So I figured out, and also by watching other shows beforehand, that you just say yes to everything, Scout's cracking up, to everything that he asked you. If he asked how you did it, where you did it, why you did it feel good, did it feel bad, did it hurt, blah, 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 you say yes, and you say it felt great. End of story. Because if you start hesitating with Howard, or you start thinking about a question and you get a little scared and not sure how to answer it, he goes for the kill. He will go right in there and you're done. You might as well leave the studio. So the key to the Howard Stern show is always say yes to anything he asks and say it felt great. Done. Isn't that interesting?
Good advice.
But it's so true. And then I remember the time I was on the show, I looked over at Robin and I like, Robin, help me. And she's not going to help you. She just laughs, and you hear it from Robin. You hear a lot of, oh my, oh dear, but because it's Howard's show. But I adore him, and you know, it was just fascinating watching him work, because the mind is just, he's brilliant. Brilliant. So actually I learned a lot. It was a learning lesson being there. So there's my Howard Stern story. I kept it clean because of the kiddies who may be possibly watching. What else? Now I'm going to rant. Now the ranting begins, because I'm going to talk about, John, what is that? What is that called? That monster right there.
The monster?
The Roland, what is that?
Oh, it's my amp. The JC120.
The JC120. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Does it go to 11? Does it go to 11?
Indeed.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That kind of caught me off guard.
Want me
Anyway,
to get out of it so people
yeah, get the JC120.
Yes.
Scout, did you see that?
Yes. The Roland JC120.
Roland JC120. Wow, it's
a classic.
That's a classic. Okay, I got it. I won't touch it. Don't touch it. Okay, cell phones. Here's cell phone etiquette. And this is, I get crazy over this. I get crazy, crazy, crazy. And today it was bugging me. And last night it was bugging me. And I thought, you know what? It's time to rant about it. So, a few weeks ago, a friend of mine, Neil Steubenhouse, and I were invited to a show. James Torme, his sister Melissa Torme invited us to a show, and James was singing. James has a beautiful voice, very similar to his father's. I mean, all those Torme kids are so talented, and James was just so good. Such a beautiful show. So anyway, we're sitting there, and this was during the show. Melissa was at a table behind us, and Neil and I were at the table in front with 1, 2, maybe 3 other people. And as James is singing, and you know, everyone's having a wonderful time, and the vibe is great. It's a beautiful club in Beverly Hills. As he's singing, I look to the person in front of me, 2 people actually, and they're on their cell phones as James is singing. There are 2 in front of me on their phones, and then there's one next to me on his phone, but he has the phone, and he puts the phone on the table with John, a stand like you have right there. So he put the phone on the stand.
Thank God it's like my stand.
Yeah. So it was almost like he was watching TV, you know, on the dinner table. And I thought, you know, I have to say something. And Neil, my friend Neil next to me goes, don't say anything. Don't, Tai, don't say anything. And I said, well, I'll say it. Can I say something nicely? Don't say anything. But why can't, don't say it. Don't, just be quiet. So it was just, I find it so rude. First of all, you know, we were invited by our friends, and I can't imagine being Jamie, you know, maybe looking down and seeing whoever on their phone. And they weren't just on their phone, they were in the phone. And it's like, what is that important? For an hour and a half, what can't they...
I agree with you.
You know, or if it's an emergency, go outside.
Yeah.
Walk outside, 10 feet out the door, and make your call. But they were focused on that and not focused on our friend who was on stage working his little tush off.
Yeah.
So that I didn't say anything, and it bugged me the rest of the night. And Neil just said, let it go. This is the world now. But why does it have to be like that?
I don't think it does.
Everyone, does it have to be like that? Nothing's that important. You know, the president's busy. You're not that busy. Ugh. And then, Scout, you were here. You were at the other time when it happened. You remember at the Barry Manilow concert? No, but I won't say any names. Don't say a name. So we were at a Barry Manilow concert a few years, maybe 6, 7 years ago, at the Staples Center. Sold out, you know, Barry Manilow. Amazing concert. So, as the concert's going, and Barry's on stage singing, I look over to the right of me, and this person, this man, gentleman, pulls out a cell phone. Barry's on stage. This guy pulls out his cell phone, and once again, he's not just on it, they're in it. They're just so, like, in it. It's like, what, I don't get it.
Takes you away from the event.
Of course it does. And the thing is, we were comped by Barry's people, and odds are, I put money on it that this man next to us was comped too, so he wasn't even paying for, you know, it was a gift to a wonderful show. It irks me. Is that a word? Irk?
That's a word.
It irks me.
It's
a word of the day. It's a pet peeve of mine because I find it incredibly rude, and you know, I have to stop myself
phone
to.
call for you.
Is that this is what? Yeah.
Phone call for you.
There's that stand that the one man had at Jamie's show, sitting on the table, and Jamie's up there, and the guy's like watching. Like, whatever. I kept my mouth shut, which is so difficult for me. But anyway, so the man next to me at Barry's show at the Staples Center, I kept my mouth shut because that was really the first time I had seen anyone pull their cell phone out and just go to town on it. I can say about this person, gentleman next to me, he had 2 major hits in the 80s.
Ah, are we playing who was on their cell phone?
2 major hits in the 80s. Let's see. No, maybe 3. I'll name 2. One was titled Sailing, and one was titled
I know who it was.
Ride Like the Wind.
Oh,
That's all. There's my rant. People, friends, if you're around me and we're at an event and someone's on stage and you whip out that phone, I will kick that phone out of your hand, or I'll get up and leave. So please don't do it. I find it rude, and it's very wrong to me. And I don't think if you were on stage you'd want it done to you. So end of story. Get this phone out of my face. Okay. It's beautiful though.
Thank you.
Okay, what else? How many minutes is this? 20?
You're on 12 minutes right now.
Okay. What else? I had an Andy Gibbs story. I think I'll wait for the Andy Gibbs story for the next video diary number 8. I have a poem that I will read now. And this will be the last poem because I think I've read everything from this Ty and Randy book. Forever 2 is 1. And I have a new batch of poems for the next book that I'm working on. So this will be the last poem that I will read for a while. And Scout,
Yeah.
are you listening?
No.
Do you know this one? It's, Scout, I need my glasses.
It's just
Wasting time. Ties with, thank you. Okay. Got my glasses. Thank you, John. Thank you, Scout. Okay, so this will be the last poem that I read because I think I've read every poem in the Forever 2 is 1 Ty and Randy book. So this was a poem that I wrote here. Yeah, I think I wrote it here in LA. And it says July 16th, 1984. Did I read this one? I don't think I read this one. At 4 a.m. That's so typical.
Nope, haven't heard that one.
Okay, and then it says P.S. Lots of brandy. Go girl.
Uh-oh.
Okay, this is called Forever 2 is 1, and I wrote it about my partner, Randy, and myself. So, forced to hold his hand at a very early age, still today side by side atop the frozen stage. Good times, bad times, we survived them as a team. To sustain this hidden love we share, every night I dream. Misfortune in 80 may be meant to be. Trust and understanding will always be the key. Memories shared as shadows, the majority of them fun. When the glow has gone, we depart still friends, forever 2 as 1.
Nice.
I love that one.
That's great.
I love that poem. And it's so funny because of the poem, we decided to call the book Forever 2 is 1. And I love that. So, and also, you can get this on Amazon.com. Someone asked, or someone suggested I remind people you can still buy this on Amazon.com. I have sold out of it. I don't even have a copy. I hope I have a copy in storage somewhere. But that's it. It's a wonderful coffee table book, and it's the story of a friendship that has lasted. We're into our 46th year together.
Wow. That's awesome.
So it's very close to my heart. And last thing, I want to mention a couple of friends of mine from Boston. and I want to get this right, so I'm looking.
We need to get you a note.
I know. Here's my list. Here are my notes. My friend from Boston, amazing musician, singer, songwriter. His name is Charlie Farren, Farren, and I think his new CD is coming out at the end of this week. You can check his website, charliefarren.com. He has amazing hair. You should see his hair. But go to his website. He's also on Twitter and he's on Facebook. Beautiful voice. He sounds like an angel. He had a couple of bands back in the 80s, and he's rocking just as hard now. So please check out charliefarren.com. And then another photographer friend of mine from Boston, again, his name is Michael Sparks. Isn't that the coolest middle name? Sparks Keegan. And his website is Michael Sparks Keegan, KEEGAN.com. Amazing photography, great rock and roll photography, some of my favorite actually. So check out his website, and Michael is also on Twitter and he's on Facebook. So I love that. That's what I love about Facebook, is we connect and we're all so intertwined, the friendships and the new friends, blah blah blah. So that's it. I know this went long again. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Tai.
Thank you, Scout.
You're welcome.
Mommy loves you.
Love
and
you.
Thanks, everyone. See you next week. Love you.